What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is SafeFromDeath. His opponent today in the blue color is 15F1111. Also playing as Odin, the map is Midgard, and it's currently 1-0 for the maestro himself, SafeFromDeath. Well, we don't know who he is. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're pretending. We're definitely pretending, but you guys don't know who he is unless you're checking the description box below, I guess. But here we go. Interesting map here. We have a SafeFromDeath. He's found his fish. I believe that in these Boobly Balance Patch maps on Midgard, you get your first 3 salmon shown in your line of sight, so there's no real randomized chance whether or not you find them or not. Taking a little bit of the early game scouting out of the picture there and really balancing the situation. And yes. So in that first game, we saw a Heimdall rush from 15F1111. So obviously he wants to be really aggressive in this matchup. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just see a like a 5-minute classical age here with lots of fishing ships, and then just go for another Heimdall attack, or even a Freya attack would be an option as well, because you get all that extra food from the fishing ship, so you can afford to build those expensive 200 food Valkyries. Super strong. Now, SafeFromDeath on the other hand, he's got a very open gold mine here, which is very scary for a Norse player, because you can't really defend against this, especially if a forest fire comes over here. So I would actually expect potentially that SafeFromDeath would move away from this forest, or have not picked this forest as the one to chop down, potentially going for a forward forest here to leave this one up as a back possibility. If you're chopping your backwood down first, that's the first thing to get forest fired. And if it opens up your gold mine even more, it can be really dangerous there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he moved away from this trees if he saw Freya as the god of choice from 15F, but we'll see what he chooses to do there. Now the map for 15F, he's got a similar situation, except he's got 2 watchtowers on, or sorry, 2 sentry towers basically on top of this gold mine, so he shouldn't be too worried about any sort of land aggression. Kind of safe for him, but it is a forward gold mine, so Heimdall here could be a devastating situation for 15F to have to deal with. But I'm assuming from that first game that SafeFromDeath much more content with his Freya play, and we'll see what he does decide to do here. So we've got 3 dwarves, 15 or 5 villagers on wood. The rest are going to food here for 15F, so no huge boom from him. SafeFromDeath doing a very, very similar build, but with an extra dwarf on the gold. Always going to get those dwarves out, but on water, you don't really need that many dwarves, and we're probably going to see SafeFromDeath's gold start to get a little bit out of control early, because he's getting that extra dwarf as well. So going for a 5th dwarf means he's going to start skyrocketing on the gold, because you can't spend it that fast. I'm not sure exactly what the reasoning behind it is, but if you have like 11 or 12 wood villagers and 4 gold villagers, it's normally enough to be able to spam the archer ships out, and we do see that SafeFromDeath is going to be attempting to advance to that next age, cut villages a little bit. Fishing boats do get forced up, and there is the Freya from SafeFromDeath. 15F on the other hand with a forward temple. Freya is the god of choice for him as well. And how many fishing ships do we have for him? We've got 9 fishing ships here. So, oh no, 10 fishing ships here for 15F. Was I right with 9? No, that's 10. Okay, and the SafeFromDeath, he's got, looking like he's got a little bit less. It's hard to tell for some reason. He's only got 9 fishing ships, so it's going to be a defensive here. We're getting the walls thrown up. Do I have the Raven that's going to come over here? And I'm going to imagine this wall becomes useless now, because this gets immediately burned, and the temple is in the middle of the map right now. And I'm pretty sure Wait, I'm pretty sure SafeFromDeath has spotted the temple, so he knows about it. Even with this wall here, not going to be doing anything. Got an idle villager there, not going to be moving for a little bit there. It's not going to be that much of an issue. Raven's still hovering over this location. Freya comes through 15F. Immediate forest fire. We like to see that. No villagers go down. Valkyrie pops out here. And if we jump over to 15F's perspective, getting his longhouse out immediately. And he also does his own forest fire immediately there. Going to force 15F away from that. Now, I'm not going to be surprised at all if we see SafeFromDeath going for his base here. If you see SafeFromDeath going 15F's base, there's no Herso back here because the temple's in the middle of the map. So this is what SafeFromDeath's going to be doing. And actually, this map, we're not seeing 15F bring his Herso back to defend. Instead, he's looking to try and pick off something in the base, and he's going to see that Valkyrie coming in very shortly, and there's really not a lot he can do to defend against this. Are we seeing any archer ships? No archer ships getting built. Double dock up for SafeFromDeath though, and the Ulfsark are starting to get pumped out. Do we have any upgrades? No upgrades from in terms of purse scene, and the Valkyrie is spinning around here, going to force all these villagers off the wood line, which is gigantic for him. But now the Ulfsark spam is coming in, running straight into the dwarves. The dwarves turn around, ready to fight back here, and this is it, and we got the Skraeling getting picked off, not being microed from SafeFromDeath. The Ulfsarks running in, but there's so many Ulfsarks here from SafeFromDeath. Looks like maybe a little bit of supply blockage or not efficiency, but SafeFromDeath 69 pop to 61 pop from 15F. But now we have the throwing axeman coming out, and we do see that Valkyrie's been dealt with. And while this is going on, the Valkyrie picking off villagers in the back, but does get picked off by two Herso there. And now 15F gonna have to play very, very defensively. Again, he's got that issue with houses a little bit too far forward. These houses are not going to get touched for a while, but these houses in the front are going to be the first things that SafeFromDeath goes for. If you just send an Ulfsark back and you just have one dedicated house builder, then you're never going to have these issues. Just send him back, build the houses around your base. You don't need to you very rarely is one unit going to tilt the battle in the opponent's favor, especially an Ulfsark. A Valkyrie on the other hand might, but we're seeing the spammage coming out right now, and that's been very good for him. But now we've got throwing axemen here, five throwing axemen against 5 throwing axemen, so a very, very even fight. But another Valkyrie's out here for SafeFromDeath. Another Valkyrie, we've got a Valkyrie over here chilling idle, but we'll see how they do here. But I think this is exactly what 15F wanted from this. He's got the middle control. He's forcing a lot of units out here. This gold line's going to be depleted very, very soon. It's looking like it's going to be about 9 minutes when it depletes. And all of the gold is being spent currently. You can see SafeFromDeath only with 130 gold in the bank. So it's all getting spammed as fast as you possibly can. So it's not going to be able to hit the mythic or the heroic edge, I should say. Now, more throwing action coming out, no longer making the Ulfsark, which is exactly what you want to do. And especially now where Freya here throws in a slightly different dynamic. The throwing axeman in combination with Valkyrie as well is just as strong as the Einhyar combination when you're not against Einhyar. So against Valkyries, you want to get, against Freya, you want to get out those Valkyries, as many as you can. And because the throwing axeman pick off the Herso really, really easily, and then the Valkyries just jump onto the throwing axeman. So it creates a bit of a strange micro dynamic where you kind of want to leave your Herso in the back so they don't die, unless your opponent has the myth unit. Then you got to move forward and try and pick them off. We do see that the throwing axemen are targeting down the infantry, going very, very well. But the Herso on top of the Valkyrie over here, the throwing axemen not quite on top of them. There they go right away. And now we've got no more Herso left for 15F here. But the Valkyrie will be able to pick it off, and it's looking like there's too many throwing axemen here. We do not see any more Valkyrie getting produced from 15F, and we don't have any Herso being built either. So these Valkyrie are going to do a lot of damage. Nice micro from him as well, stopping to turn around and hit that Ulfsark, taking a little bit of damage, but it's not going to matter too much. because 15F gonna have to get out of there. And Save from Death is going to start moving in, but now the Valkyries are starting to pop out for 15F. You can see his food situation is looking fine to do so, and is going to continue pushing in here. And now Valkyries are on top of Save from Death's throwing axeman. It's going to force him back here, and 15F is going to have a little bit of an advantage now. But now here, 2 Valkyries against 1, or 2 Valkyries against 2. Totally fine here. For 15F to make a move in, and now they've moved out onto this gold mine, and it's looking like this is possibly the best gold mine you could possibly have, but both players have a back gold mine, so that's fine. But going for the houses, I love this. You want to take out these houses if you can, because looking at Save from Death's supply here, he's actually going to be totally fine. He's got every single house he needs, so a little bit of a miscalculation there, I guess. But moving in, getting some free hits on that Valkyrie is going to be very nice. Save from Death not paying attention to it, because half HP'd. And if we look at the population difference, it's got 110 to 90 here. So this is a big advantage right now for Save from Death coming. He has a 3rd Valkyrie as well as he's moving in, setting the Valkyrie in front, and they're going to be dealing a lot of damage. Nice micro from 15F, pulling the Valkyries back, but unfortunately starts healing his other Valkyrie friend, not attacking there. Little bit of a misclick. We do see the dwarves getting pulled off the line. They're going to be taking a lot of damage while the throwing axemen are dealing their damage back, with the Valkyrie sitting on the back of the throwing axemen doing not really doing anything at the moment, but should be doing work, but it's not going to be happening just yet. And finally getting them to move in, and we're seeing 15F move through these throwing axemen like they're nothing more, getting built, and he is able to stay very, very far front of the population here with 93 pop to 69 pop. Another Valkyrie pops out for Save from Death, but it's not going to be enough unless these dwarves here can be enough of a tank to allow these throwing axemen to get an advantage here, because that's what he needs to do to defend against this. And we do see him go straight for that Valkyrie, but he needs to be picking off the throwing axemen if he can. Let these dwarves go idle. One way you can do these dwarf fights is you use the idle military banner and you shift click and you start auto attacking them as soon as they're idle, and you see them up the top, shift click and then click on the units there. But it's looking like a lot of deaths in the villager category here, and the Valkyries are starting to get out of control because no Hersa are being made, more Ulfs are coming in, more throwing axemen flooding in. These Valkyries not going down at all. Another Valkyrie coming in, more dwarves getting pulled off the line there of the gold mine, and it's looking like the defense is going okay currently for Save from Death, but it just seems like he's not able to catch up on the population, and the flood from 15F is just being too much here. And he will be coming over onto these dwarves sooner or later and starting to pound down on them, picking off the dwarves very, very fast. Save from Death is continuing to come over here, but if the Valkyrie are on top of the dwarves and the throwing axemen just pick off all of the infantry, the Valkyrie do way too much damage against the dwarves for them to fight back and tank too much. And then not only that, the throwing axemen also have to tank. We do see another Valkyrie get sniped there as another blue Valkyrie comes in to deal all the damages here. Throwing axemen going to be picking off quite a few in the back again, and it's looking like Save from Death is going to have to abandon this gold mine for the time being. He's actually going to go sneak a gold mine over here, but Save from Death, or sorry, 15F I should say, sees that with the Raven, so he can start maneuvering over there with the Valkyrie and getting those raids, potentially just throw some longhouses around here, because I'm sure he's floating wood, and then just hit these villagers who are searching blindly for a large gold mine, but do have the gold mine in their line of sight there. So I'm going to be jumping onto that one very, very shortly. But the Valkyrie, they know where to go. The Raven going to be relocated over to the gold mine to check that one out. We do see Save from Death chasing these guys, and the 5 dwarves that are left alive from the gold mine are grabbing that wood there. Ulfsar coming in, town center going up for 15F, just throwing insult to injury. And that's going to be way too much, it's looking like, for Save from Death to deal with. Once he sees that town center, that means that this gold mine is no longer safe, because there's a defensive building here for 15F to play with. And then he can just move his throwing axemen through the base of Safe from Death. No regard for the, or I should say absolute disregard for the town center. Actually, he's not going to do it. He's going to walk around. Okay, I take it all back. But the Valkyrie don't really want to throw these guys away. These throwing axemen, they don't do a lot of damage to them. They can eventually pick them off, but it's looking like he's not wanting to fight just yet. With 4 Valkyrie against the throwing axemen, probably wins with that army, to be honest. But the infantry from 15F making their way over, going to try and cut off any sort of retreat from Safe from Death over here. Moving in and out here while the throwing axemen getting a lot of good hits in, but not really picking too much off the Valkyries. Retreating yet again as the rest of the army moves in for 15F, and he's going to start building dwarves onto this gold mine to deplete it even more. The population now is 130 to 82. It's looking like these units are not able to come out very fast at all. But raiding cavalry are going to be built. Mostly in this matchup, if you're making raiding cavalry, it's just to distract your opponent. And that's about it. You run them back and forth in front of the throwing axemen and try and get some dodges, some damage reduction, basically. And the throwing axemen will clean up everything else here, it's looking like. And that is going to be the entire army of Safe from Death dead. With 1,000 score difference, Safe from Death decides to tap out. GG, well played there by 15F. Really nice Freya aggression. I liked that he didn't just go Heimdall here. Because these water maps, they change the dynamic. They change it in the fact that you can afford the Valkyrie. Normally you can't afford the Valkyrie because you're building Ulfsark and throwing axemen, and once you're starting to build the throwing axemen, you don't have enough gatherers on food because you need to have so many gatherers on wood to support the throwing axemen. But on water maps, you tend to float food a little bit because you can't really get much usage out of that food because raiding cavalry costs too much gold, and Ulfsark don't do anything against the throwing axemen balls. So you get the Valkyries out to do work. But I guess one thing you could do is spam onto gold gatherers onto the gold mine in order to get out Iron here. It's a little bit less efficient, but I feel like just the Valkyrie would be enough to win those fights anyways. Alrighty then. So we got one more game to come. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll get that next game going real shortly.